forensic investigator.
Yes,
You are therefore not about all of this at all.
I'm not.
Your role in this matter your role in this matter was limited to primarily documentation and photographs and nothing else.
And such as well.
Okay. But primarily that was what you are doing?
Yes, my lady.
And what?
Such.
It is therefore correct to state I want to take you to River Mutonga because that is where you started. It's Chauwa. Were you present when the body was first discovered?
I was not.
You were not present. It is also true to say that by the time you arrived on Akieti, there were other officers and members of the public who had processed the scene.
Yes, that is true, my lady.
Your photographs simply show the river, the surrounding area, and the birds. That's what your photographs simply show.
Yes, my lady.
Lady, I'm confirming that the photographs he has produced before the court, they only describe the environments along the river. Such that they do not show how the deceased entered the river.
They don't.
And they also do not show who placed the deceased body on the river, if anyone.
They do not show
How the deceased entered the river. I want you to confirm that one.
That is true.
They also do not show who placed the body at the river.
They don't show.
Correct. I want now to take you to the mortuary. In your question, you told us that when you photographed the body, it had been labeled as a non-African man. Unknown.
That is true, my lady.
So you personally could not tell if that person or that body was the deceased body.
I could not tell.
So your reliance in the fact
Unknown African male.
The next question, my lady, was whether you could confirm that that was indeed the deceased.
I could not.
Such that your reliance on that body being that of the deceased is what you were told by other people.
That is true, my lady.
When Banakieti, you've also told this honorable court today that at the time of taking those photographs, the body had decomposed.
That is true. It was in at advanced
Stages of
of decomposition. My lady.
In your many years of experience, Banakieti, you've told us you've processed over 50 scenes of crime.
I said more than 500.
More than 500 scenes. Can decomposition cause changes in skin appearance?
Of course.
It can.
Yes, my lady.
Can decomposition cause changes in skin?
Yes. In fact, some of the signs of decomposition are the skin slippage. What is observed, skin slippage.
What of skin? Color of skin.
Some signs of decomposition include skin slippage. That was slippage, slipping of the skin. That was clearly evident on the body in question already.
You say this was clearly evident.
On the body of the deceased.
Another characteristic would also be discoloration of the skin.
Yes,
It's a
ma'am.
possibility.
It is.
Can decomposition also cause marks that may appear as injuries due to decomposition?
Decomposition alone, no. But conditions where the body was, maybe the presence of animals, marks that appear as injuries. But if the location of the body has the presence of predators, predatory animals, predatory animals like crabs could cause injuries or sorry, I'm saying that if the location of the body has predatory animals, some of them could cause signs that could appear as injuries, but obviously they will be different from antemortem signs.
But again, those are whatever you refer to as antemental signs. You're not able to confirm them because you're not a pathologist.
That is true.
On the neck, a strangulation mark on the neck.
Yes, my lady.
And this you are able to observe on a decomposed body.
Yes, it was obvious. It was evident. There was a groove. If the court could look at photograph number 21. Number 21. That's the question.
That's the truth.
Yes, my lady.
Those are
That is a ligature mark.
Bwana Kieti, did you conduct a microscopic or an internal examination of that mark?
The pathologist conducted an internal examination below the skin, and that is an internal examination below the skin on the neck. And photograph number 22 and 23 can show, do show signs of discoloration. And 23, signs of discoloration on the skin below the Adam's apple, my lady.
Below that?
The Adam's apple.
Bwana Kieti, 2 more questions. You have told us you are not a photographer. You told us your work was limited to taking pictures. Are you able to independently yes, state whether these marks were inflicted at death or after death?
No, I'm not.
You are not able to verify that.
Yes, my lady.
Therefore, your photographs are just photographs and they are not a medical conclusion.
That is true, my lady.
The first question was whether
I
you,
got that.
okay. The last question is that his photographs were merely photographs just showing what was happening, and they cannot be termed as a medical conclusion.
That is true, my lady.
Really, that's all for the first request.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kieti.
Good afternoon to you, my lady.
So on behalf of the second and the third activist persons, I have just a few questions to you. So the first question, my lady. You have indicated that you have over 8 years of experience as a forensic crime scene investigator.
That is true, my lady.
And over the years, you understand the standard procedures that are required during the whole process.
Yes, I do
What
understand.
did you say?
Briefly,
You said the second question?
you confirm that you understand the standard procedures relating to the whole forensic investigation. Relating to the whole forensic crime scene investigation process.
I do understand, my lady.
And you have also confirmed that you are not the first person at the scene of the crime.
That is true, my lady.
So, are you able to guarantee this court that there was no alteration whatsoever at the scene of the crime?
I can't say that affirmatively because I was not present during the initial crime scene processing, my lady.
So then, to confirm there is a possibility of alteration, either by the first person who are there, the residents, or the police officers, or other persons.
I cannot confirm that, my lady.
But do you agree that there is a possibility of alteration?
To some extent, I do agree.
Next, on your arrival at the scene of, did you proceed to immediately take photos or there was some delays?
Of course, the first thing after arrival at the crime scene is you gauge the possibilities of the recovery of evidence at the said crime scene. On the occurrence by the first responding officers, so that we're able to ventilate on how or where we can get or recover evidence directly. On how and where we can get evidence.
Then you have also confirmed in your report that there were no alterations to the images and production.
That is true, my lady.
Are you able to guarantee to the court that no software or other alterations were used in production? That there were no other software or other alterations made to the images and the production?
My lady, the photographs were printed under my supervision by the forensic imaging lab. The photographs were printed or developed under my supervision by an expert from the forensic imaging and acoustic unit. Imaging and acoustic unit.
So are you able to produce raw images of the photo that you presented before? Are you able to present raw images?
Yes, I have the photos in soft form, in digital form, and if the court deems it fit, then in soft form or digital form. And if the court deems it fit, then we can always have them before the court made it.
So on matters regarding the camera, were you at all times in possession of the camera?
Yes, the camera is a government issue. The camera is a government issue, just like a firearm. So it is always under my custody.
So you do confirm that you were the only one who was operating the camera at the time? No
Yes,
other person?
I can confirm that, my lady.
Or photographic gloves maintained at the time, or were they maintained to record each photographic which photograph that was taken, or photographic logs maintained to record each photograph taken. That is maybe the time, the location, and the subject.
We have, I did documentation in terms of notes indicating this photograph was taken on this, at this time and this place. I have a notebook that has the details.
Has that been produced before the court?
No, it is not before this court, my lady.
So the photos have no logs on them to indicate the location and the time of the cut.
No, they don't have a timestamp. I think you're talking about that.
Time?
Stamp.
So you have confirmed earlier.
That was not the only limitation. I have so many roles at a crime scene, including documentation, note-taking, photography, search.
Wait first.
Specifically, your roles in this case.
I did whatever I was supposed to do as a crime scene investigator at the crime scene, including photography, note-taking, sketching. Note-taking, sketching, search for evidence, recovery, as well as packaging and labeling of the evidence that was recovered. Recovered.
So then you do confirm that the information that you relied on was sourced from other persons, not specifically yourself.
Of course, before you commence any crime scene investigation, you have to get a brief of the incident.
Then have you also produced any metadata showing all the photographs moved from the scene to the transfer, the storage medium, the printing and production?
Is he able to?
Has he produced any metadata showing the transfer of the photographs from the scene after being captured, the transfer of the storage medium, printing and now production?
No, I have not produced my lady.
From the scene to the transfer in the storage medium,